In case you have been sleeping under a rock, Off the Grid has launched to critical success, exceeding the live viewers on Twitch of the top games like Valorant and even Fortnite. You can see right here that Off the Grid has 100,000 viewers, 92,000 for Diablo, 84,000 for Valorant, and 81,000 below my head there for Fortnite, which is an absolutely insane feat for any game, let alone a game that strives to incorporate crypto into its system. So this is an impressive feat and has similar hype levels to when Fortnite grew in popularity or PUBG initially took off as battle royales immediately went mainstream during that period. But some of you might think that extra competition for Illuvium is a negative. I'm here to tell you that it is actually the opposite to that, and you really need to listen to these three things I'm talking about. There are three things in particular that I want to talk about that show you why this is actually a really bullish thing for Illuvium as a whole. Now, no, Illuvium isn't the most fun game to play, or at least not compared to Off the Grid, but it is improving rapidly, and there's some fantastic features coming in the future that will make it stand on its own 2 feet. So, the first thing is a rising tide lifts all ships. Many of you probably already think like that, but some of you might not. Some of you might think that everyone's just playing Off the Grid and they don't want to play other crypto games, but that's not really how it is. And the game Off the Grid I'm talking about helps remove so much of the crypto gaming stigma as it grows in popularity so rapidly. You can see from this clip with Tim the Tapman that he absolutely loves the game. Let's check it out.
I body him. This guy's weak.
I'm going.
I downed him. I downed him. I think you go for it, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna have to zip up from the bottom, I think, though.
I might be able to fly and make a move here. Hang on. Wait, he's up. Oh my god.
Such a good clip.
What the fuck am I doing?
This
game's insane, bro. Oh my god. What the fuck did I just do?
You can hear that they absolutely love it. They think the game is good, they're enjoying playing it, and really, that's what matters the most. Through these large creators, it is showing their viewership that crypto and crypto gaming is simply not evil. They're seeing that you can enjoy a game and enjoy it being on the blockchain, and those being two distinct things. And as they come together, it doesn't necessarily have to impact your gameplay. And as more people see that, then they'll warm up to the idea of crypto in general. Speaking of great projects, if you are a big crypto gaming fan, then you also need to check out Lizard Labs. Anyone who knows me knows that I love the ETH Lizards and Lizard Labs, but what you might not know is they have evolved far beyond just an NFT project. They are now a gaming DAO that is building infrastructure, handing out alpha, and my personal favorite, allowing any individual to invest into new gaming projects on the ground floor. Jump into their Discord today to learn about the future of crypto gaming, as their token launch is right around the corner. And thanks again to Lizard Labs for sponsoring this video. Now, back to Off the Grid. It is more like a Web 2.5 game than Web 3. Now, if people want the full experience, what I think will happen is they'll look for other AAA titles. A AAA title is what brought them is what made them interested in crypto gaming as a whole, and as they do that, they will go, oh, I want to play another game of similar quality, high quality, good graphics, interesting lore, narrative, IP, all the rest of it. That's what I'm looking for, but I want to get more into this crypto gaming or this Web3 gaming thing. And Illuvium is really just right there. Things like Illuvium and some of the other TCGs and things like that. And I think that that's a really bullish thing for Illuvium. So the second thing is the onboarding advantages to Off the Grid are really sweet here. Eventually, it will help newcomers learn things like crypto wallets, holding your own keys, seed phrases, and all the rest of it, as they slowly get inched more into crypto in general through the gaming space with a game like Off the Grid. Mass education is a natural next step before mass adoption into crypto gaming can actually be achieved. Many people want to heavily add the blockchain to games like Illuvium is doing, and to do that, sometimes you need to actually cater towards the Web3 audiences. You want to make it so that people have their own assets and they can sell it or send it or whatever. And that's much easier to do with things like crypto setups than actual Web 2 and just standard internet setups, kind of like what Off the Grid has going. Like Right now in Off the Grid, I have absolutely no way how I could possibly send an asset to another player because it's not in a native crypto wallet in the same way that it might be in other places. And obviously they'll add and enhance some of that functionality, but crypto wallets already have a lot of that built in. So the big thing here is that Off the Grid can convert Web 2 gamers into Web 3 gamers probably better than basically any other game that is out there. Things like Telegram games and your browser games and things like that. They're not just grabbing all of these hardcore Web 2 gamers that people say that they want to attract to the crypto gaming space. But Off the Grid really is. But speaking of Telegram games, the bar is being raised higher for crypto gaming. And that's the main thing here. As you can see here, we can see that Telegram games and Off the Grid are search terms in the games category. And I don't know if you noticed, but the chart is looking mighty interesting, where Telegram games have been more popular for the longest amount of time. No one, I can tell you from YouTube views, no one cared about Off the Grid like a week ago. But now Off the Grid is going to be anything anyone is talking about. And that's what people are going to see. They're not going to see this Telegram stuff anymore. Up until now, people loved malware like Telegram games. But we can see that Off the Grid is, I don't know if they're going to make Telegram games and things like that and shitcoins and all that go away. But their attention is not going to go backwards. They're not going to go, oh, I played Off the Grid. It was super fun. I was flying everywhere, shooting everyone down. It was the best game ever. Oh, how about I try this clicker game on my phone now? That's totally what I want to play. No one's doing that. Not a single person coming in is going to do that, which means that the bar has been set higher for all of crypto gaming. And Illuvium has a huge head start. As we can see, people are going to start migrating to the top crypto games in the space if they're really into crypto gaming after playing Off the Grid. And as Illuvium evolves and improves their game experience, it will become front and center of this narrative. Illuvium needs combat, needs some multiplayer PvP, and maybe a mini battle royale or some other sort of game that you can play in the overworld. And then it will become much more attractive for those who might not be super into Off the Grid or really enjoy it, but really like the idea of creatures and creature collecting and using them to battle. That might be something that interests a lot of those people. I know it would definitely interest me as a fan of both battle royales and the creature collector genre. The other thing is the genre for Illuvium is so different to Off the Grid that it is in the best possible position to take some overflow and continue to grow. I can't say the same for most other games, especially if they aren't in the strategy genre. Those competing in the battle royale genre are going to have a little bit of trouble. I think small format shooters could be really good, things like Call of Duty, Team Deathmatch, all that sort of stuff. But battle royales and things like that, the market is getting so saturated. Unless you're better than the competition, like Off the Grid strives to be, it's going to be really hard. But thankfully, Illuvium is adjacent and not too far away, but it doesn't inhabit the exact same space. So if people are looking for more AAA games and they are not necessarily looking for another BR because now they've got one, then Illuvium is right there in front of them. If you agree or disagree, please let me know down below, and I hope you learned something today. Subscribe for more Illuvium and Off the Grid content and guides, and check out this video on Off the Grid if you want to get caught up to speed on what it is all about.